to my channel if you're new here. Hi, my name is Shawna. If you're not new, thank you for coming back. So basically, since my trip and the pictures posted from like my birthday trip and everything, I've been getting a lot of DMs from students here in Cuba asking like, how did I go on my trip? How did I go to Baradero? Like, how did I go about booking a trip and all that jazz and everything. So basically, I'm going to explain that in this video. This is not going to be long. I hope it's not. We're just going to run through real quick. It's a relatively simple process, as simple as things can be in Cuba. So basically, the first thing that you're going to do is you find a travel agency. They are usually labeled like Havana Tour, or sometimes they'll be like the Cuba Cana or Cuba Can and the Havana Tour. Havana Tour is the one that I've always gone with. Every time when I did like a trip to Cuba, in Cuba, I've been to Baradero, well, twice with that agency. I've been to Vinales 1 year for my birthday, went again with Havana Tour. It's just the easiest way to book your trip, especially if you want like transportation to be included and all of that jazz, especially if you want to go to a hotel. Havana Tour is your best option. There are various offices all around Havana, all around the different provinces, but I live in Havana, so we're going to talk about there. Sometimes a lot of them are located inside of hotels. There's also other tour desks and agencies. However, I know about Havana Tour, so that's the one I'm going to talk about. I'll briefly mention another one after and say like the pros and cons. I went to the Havana Tour. That's down, if you live in Playa, it's on Tercera and Ochenta. Yeah, that big Centro de Negocio, that's like the big like business building where like all the airline companies and things, like where the Cubans go to like buy tickets and where you can go to buy tickets for different airlines. That big one that's like in front of Memories something, that's on Tercero. That building there, when you go to like the corner, you can ask when you go to that plaza and ask where is the Havana Tour office. Those will take you there, and there's usually a line, if we're being honest. It's the most annoying thing, as with everything here. There's always a line. I went twice to try to book my trip. Like, I went the first day and then there were so many people in front of me. The people ended up going on off lunch. I felt like I was going to drop down, come if I eat the day when they go for book it. So I ended up leaving and then going back the next day, making sure to eat before going there, because I would need the energy to wait it out. So your best option is to go early in the morning. I think they open at like 8 something or 9. Go early. Y'all, if you live here, you know the Cubans, them will wake up and go early and we'll always be in front of you. So go early if you can, to like try to be the first couple persons or the first couple groups and things. Sometimes people take long in there. But you go and you'd inquire. It's best to go with a hotel in mind. So like Google the hotels or wherever it is that you want to go, whatever trip it is you want to take, and then go and tell them that's what you want to do. Have a date in mind so that they can check to see the availability during that period. Ask them to call the hotel and see if there's availability, because that's one thing I didn't do. And then when I went to book it, the hotels were booked out. So learn from my mistake. Basically, yeah, you go to the Havana Tour office, you wait in the line, you get in, you speak to one of the agents, you tell them what you would like your trip to be, where you would like to go, when you would like it for it, if you need transportation or not, they will ask you. And then you ask for like a price breakdown. Something that I think you should know, if it is a hotel you're going to, they're going to give the price that they're quoting you is the base price, so like the cheapest room at the hotel. So if you want to be bougie and have like certain upgrades and stuff like those, ask and let them know, because what they're giving you is the base thing, like double room for like 2 people, XYZ and things. So if you want, like, for example, it's 2 people but y'all want a king size bed instead of like a double size bed, or like you want like sea view rooms and not like just the basic, ask, because the price that they're quoting you first is the cheapest one. So ask to find out like the difference with the different tiers of tiers of stay that you can have. Okay, so basically like, you go, you inquire. If you already have the money there with you, then you can book at the same time. Honestly, if you want to do a trip here, you need to book a couple months in advance, especially if it's for like the two main hotels, which are the two nicest hotels in Barbados, which is like Iberostar Bella Vista and Melia Internacional. Those are the two most modern and, in my opinion, nicest hotels in Barbados right now. Apart from the ones that would be like out on like the Cayos and thing like them's nice. And yeah. So basically, bear that in mind. So don't wait like 2 weeks before your trip to like book it. Nah, if you have the money and it's like a month before, like 2 months before, and you know for a fact that you want to go to this date and it's available, book it. I know it's a little harder when we're students because maybe some assignment might come up and everything and you might need to change it or whatever. But if you know for like, for example, like if it's like you want to go on a trip for like Semana de Huron and that's like our whole week in like April where we get like Easter break, the Cubans aim for that week. So like if you know that you want to go away for that week and you come back at school, book it like the January, even though it's all the way in April, because by the time it reaches March, that's full. That entire week, all the hotels book out that week because everybody goes to Barbados that weekend. So even if you don't have transportation, book the hotel stay months in advance. You can go back and book transportation. So basically that's it. Go to Havana Tour Bus. I'm sure the video is inserted somewhere here because I made sure to record it when I went. And that's it. You can usually book transportation through them, but with the situation and what's happening in the world right now and the scarcity of like oil for like cars and buses and all of that jazz, they aren't doing trips as frequently. So they aren't booking it ahead of time because they need to have like a certain amount of people on the bus for them to decide that yeah, it's worth it for them to even schedule trips. So knowing that, you might not get transportation to go for like a bus ride. Or if you do, you might have to go back and book it because it might be last minute and they'll tell you that they don't know when and then they don't know when because it's not them that run it. The agencies have to call the hotels and schedule whatever. And then they also have to call the bus company that they work with, which is Transtour, and see if they're having any trips and schedule it and everything and then book you onto one. So it's not their fault, to be honest. That's that. When I went for my trip, the date that I wanted to come back, they didn't have a trip set for that. They only had they only had bus rides right up until March 31st. I wanted to come back April 1st, and instead of just sacrificing the last day, which is what I should have done, I was adamant that I wanted to come back April 1st. So they were like, well, we can't book your travel trip. So we'll book the hotel, but you have to go to a different hotel in the area to book transportation. I didn't end up going. I went the first day and I was exhausted when I left because there were so many people in front of me and the person was going on lunch. So I left again. Mind you, this is a whole waiting period. Y'all know if you live here, everything is a waiting period. So if you could go early, fam. I think when I went to go book transportation, somebody was there from like 4 a.m. in the morning and waiting to get through, because the thing is that especially if it's like a tour desk that's in a hotel, if one of the hotel guests come to the desk, they're going to serve their guests before they serve you, because their guests will be priority. So if a ton of guests decide that they want to schedule random trips and think, they have to get through the booking of the hotel guests before they can even look at you. And there's a bunch of people who are trying to book trips that time too that are not guests of the hotel. So there's always going to be a line. So Heidi was the one who went. She went there and she was saying that there are people there from like how much o'clock in the morning waiting, and guests from the hotel kept coming and coming. With that though, the problem with when you go to one of the desks, I think this was Gaviota Tours. The problem with when you go to like one of the desks in the hotel is that they don't take cash anymore. Like they would want you to use your card. So it's gonna be more expensive because obviously, for example, Havana Tour, you can use cash, you can pay in CUP. So obviously if you're changing money in the streets, you get more bang for your buck with paying in CUP than if you were to use your card and pay USD. Then it would equate to like being just a bit more expensive in comparison, you know? So for our bus ride to go and come back round trip would have been like, Heidi paid $60 US for both of us, so $30 US each. But being that transportation, if I had booked it with Havana Tour, as somebody who is considered Cuban because I have my ID card, it would have been like 450 CUP, which is a little over a little less than $50, 50 pesos shy of like 20 US dollars, to be honest. So a whole $10 less, you know? So yeah, basically that's it. That's how you book a trip here. And that includes not just hotels. If you want to do like tours, like I did my Vinales tour, I booked it at Havana Tour. They told you like all the itinerary that you can do for the day, whatever activity. I think if you want to do zip line or whatever, all of those different stuff, all the fun stuff that you see people do in Cuba, a lot of times they'll book it through Havana Tour, just because they're a tour company. They facilitate those type of stuff. You can find the offices all over. You can check Google Maps. You could Google it and they'll show you the different locations depending on where you live in Havana and outside of Havana. And may the odds be ever in your favor, because it's like the Hunger Games. Literally, eat before you go. You will be waiting for hours. I am not exaggerating. And charge your phone, because my phone died on me twice on 2 different days waiting to get through. Walk with your charger as well if you're waiting and you're booking in a hotel, just so you could charge your phone. Seriously, it takes that long just to be able to go this trip. It didn't used to be honest. It did not used to. Like back in the day, but back in the day we couldn't afford to do it. Back in the day, the Cubans, you wouldn't have had as much of them going on hotel trips and things. It's just because the change right now and the fact that they could get more CUP for like US. It's like everybody have money now can live life at hotel and thing, to be honest. So everybody's taking advantage of it. Hope this helped. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Please like and share this video if you know somebody who's interested in doing a trip, or you want this to be the hint to one of your friends to be like, let's go out. Send this video to them. If you're not yet subscribed, what are you doing? I know you laughed while watching this. Please subscribe. Please join this little family. I'm trying to hit 500 subscribers at least by the end of this month. Guys, I'm like 104 subscribers shy. And apart from that, I would like to hit at least 1,000 by the end of the year. Let's be crazy and say 2,000 by the end of the year. And you could make that happen. So please hit that subscribe button, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye.